House Won't Let Me Leave by Tiny Fisherman. A few weeks ago, I moved into a new house in the countryside. This was a huge change from the previous city bungalow I lived in. I hate the city, but I didn't have enough money to move, so I waited until I had enough saved. And after a few weeks of looking, I found the perfect house far from the city. It had 2 stories and 3 bedrooms. It was situated in the middle of a forest, 2 miles from the nearest town. This would help my work too, as I didn't have any distractions from the noise outside, just the sound of nature. I instantly adapted to the country lifestyle. It was a huge change from the beeping cars and streetlights shining in my window. Now, I had peace, finally. My dog, on the other hand, didn't adjust too well to the house, and for an unknown reason spent most of his day barking at the wall. This gave me reason to believe that there were rats in the house, so I went into town to buy some mousetraps. The second I put one foot inside the store, I felt unwelcome. People were giving me dirty looks, and once I picked up the mousetraps, they avoided me altogether. When I reached the till, the guy serving me began to talk. "So, you live in that old house outside of town?" he said casually. I told him where I lived, and he just stayed silent, nodding slowly as I he said, "Everybody that ever lived in there wanted mousetraps. I don't think anybody lived in that place for more than a year, from what I've seen." I paid for the mousetraps and hurried out of there. Once I got home, I cut up a few pieces of cheese, put them on the mousetraps, and placed them in every room in the house. But after a few days of them being untouched, I decided to give up on them. It was around then I started hearing the noises in the walls, but those noises were nothing compared to what happened soon after. Yesterday, I was working on my computer in my study when the door suddenly slammed shut. I assumed it was a draft, so I opened it again and got back to work. After another minute, the door closed again, so I opened it and put a book at the base of the door to prevent it from closing again. Nothing happened for a few minutes, but then I heard something. Nothing could have prepared me for what I was about to see. There were 2 creatures, one swinging off the door handle and the other trying to pull the book away. They were about the size of a rat, but they had more of a humanoid form, except for the head, which was far too big for their puny bodies. They were covered from head to toe in slimy green scales, and their eyes made them look like cartoon characters, seeing they were about the size of golf balls. When they saw me, they let out a pathetic little scream before taking off out the door. I took off out the door with speed that would shame an Olympian, but I couldn't find them anywhere. I searched the whole house top to bottom, but there was still no evidence of their existence. I decided I would call an exterminator to get rid of them, but when I got back to the study, my phone was missing, and in its place was what looked like my dog's tongue. I felt rage like nothing I had ever experienced, and decided I would go to town and get help. But the keys were missing, and instead was my dog's ear hanging on the key hanger. I felt sick. They took my dog, and for the cherry on top, they locked the windows and the front and back door, so there is no way out without breaking my window, which I can't afford to replace. After the most lonely night of my life, I then realized they didn't take the computer and raced to the office to double check. My computer was still there, so I decided to write this and look for advice. And I keep seeing their evil heads popping out from the door, but no matter what I do, I cannot catch them. Somebody please help. I don't want them to hurt my dog any further. Thank you guys for listening to tonight's story. If you enjoyed, leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more. Thanks.